coachable player, Liam Patrick.
Rory Sloane, he just does everything that we ask of him and picks up stuff really quickly.
Sam Mitchell.
Joel Selwood. Robert Murphy. Split.
Brett Kirk. I think he's one that just did his role week in, week out over many, many years.
So Jack Siebel springs to mind. I defer to him regularly. He often goes above and beyond the call of duty in doing what I tell him to do.
Corey Enright.
Say Corey Enright. Yeah, he's a superstar. He's very, very easy to coach.
Daniel Cross and Matthew Boyd at the Bulldogs. Luke Bruce was fantastic at Hawthorn. Tom Scully. He's very, very easy to coach at the Giants.
I can tell you who it's not. It's not Jack Riewoldt.
Stevie Johnson. I think Stevie's loves to do his own thing, and he's very coachable, except he doesn't listen to the coach.
Jaron Geary would be the person that I right now would say he's going to do whatever it is you ask him to do.
Michael Walters has been amazing.
I'd have to say Scott Pendlebury.
Jude Bolton. He's very easy to coach. Just give him a task, he'd go and do it. Followed closely by the Canadian Mike Pike.
Ben Rutten last year against Western Bulldogs.
Brian Lake.
A younger player, well, I won't mention his name, who didn't handle his injury rehab the way he should have.
Quarter time when we played Collingwood, and I think it's been documented when I threw the piece of paper on the ground.
Scotty McMahon was close in Brisbane because for such a talented player and such a smart player, you can do some dumb things sometimes.
Quarter time, GWS, midway through last year.
There was one time there when I was coaching Essendon Reserves where I chased Mark Johnson and Jason Johnson into the locker room. They got taken away from me, and I got them again. They were in the toilets. I got them in there, and I was going to just chew their heads off. That's what I felt like doing. I think they both remember that day.
Well, I think there may have been one down at Geelong early days when we got beaten by 100 points. I think that may have been probably one of the biggest ones.
Jack Stanlake in the 18s championship for Queensland. Destroyed a pen in the process, or a whiteboard marker went flying across at Etihad Stadium. I think we're playing Northern Territory, but that was a fearful one.
Quarter time, round 7 v Freo, Patterson Stadium last year.
I get sprays every fifth week, so it's pretty hard to measure them.
Oh, the Saints boys talked about, so there was one at half time playing Hawthorn and started at the top, and Rui still laughs about it. I spoke about his lack of tackling, not only for the game but the year, so that was quite solid.
To my 7-year-old son for drawing on our very expensive table at home.
Incorrect disposal. The holding the ball.
It's the holding the ball rule. I think we'd like to have the players rewarded who are first to the footy.
Chopping the arms.
I think when tacklers don't get rewarded.
Hands in the back.
Hands in the back.
The hands in the back.
Probably the pushing the hands in the back.
The inconsistency with hands in the back.
One in the back, or the bigger man gets free kicked against because he's bigger and stronger.
The interpretation of the slide-in rule is very, very tough and hard because you want your players to obviously go for the footy.
If the player's on the ground, then another player comes in like a second tackler and they're above their head, they're around their head. To me, that's too high. It should be a free kick.
The ruck rule.
Prior opportunity holding the ball, there's so much interpretation to it.
Kevin Sheedy.
I'd probably have to say Bomber and Geelong. They caused us a bit of trouble for a few games.
Alistair Clarkson.
Alistair Clarkson.
Sydney. Consistently find a way that if you're on top in an area of the game, they can wrestle it back.
When we played Port Adelaide a couple of times, they had some really clever moves that probably bamboozled our players a couple of times.
Whenever you play a Ross Lyon coach team, it's always frustrating. It's not going to be a high-scoring game and you have to defend well.
No doubt it's very tough to coach against Fremantle. We went over there last year and we thought we were back in the game in the second quarter because we kicked 5 straight, but that changed after half-time and it was about 14 goals to 1.
Rodney Eade and his Bulldogs at their best were really tough. Obviously, Alistair with the teams that he's had. And
Clarkson, and obviously this year's going to be Roos and Bomber Thompson. But also too, I have trouble coaching against my best mates. I'm best mates with Bucks at Collingwood, and also I've done a lot of work over the last few years at Geelong with Brendan McCartney and Ken Hinkley.
Matthew Pavlich.
Aaron Sandilands.
Scott Thompson from Adelaide, I think in our first 3 games he'd knocked up over 90 possession.
Certainly Ablett.
Gary Ablett Jr.
Gary Ablett.
Oh, I would still say Gary Ablett's probably the hardest to stop.
Gary Ablett.
Young Gezza. Adam Goods has been hard to stop over the years.
Well, for us, it's been Adam Goods.
I reckon Selwood.
Probably Patrick Dangerfield. He comes into the midfield, he's explosive in the midfield, then he goes to full forward or plays forward, and he's very, very hard to stop as well, and you've always got to adjust your matchups with him.
Cloak.
Oh, I think Travis Cloak. He's probably a player that has had a really good success rate against us, so we'll be playing 3 blokes on him this time.
We've had some problems with Stevie Motlop a little bit at Geelong. Obviously, Gary himself's pretty hard to stop when he gets going, and a bloke like Buddy Franklin clearly is hard work when you've got a bloke with his size who can run like he does.
Buddy Franklin always gives us headaches when we're preparing to play Hawthorn. So now when you look at Sydney and you've got Franklin, Tippett, Goods, Reid, that forward line looks scary.
Well, the ones that just win their own ball. Josh Selwood, when he's going, is very difficult to stop.
Harvey. And that's 4 and there's 40.